Hey guys, it's Gingerly and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a Sims 4 renovation! Yay! Finally something other than a build! No, I mean I do love my builds and I really enjoyed making those apartments, but we are finally onto something else! I've been meaning to do a renovation for so long and the day has finally come. So, today we are renovating Riverside Roost, which I've personally actually never played in before. But it is quite a nice house. And unlike all of my other renovations, at least in The Sims 3, no, I mean, sorry, Sims 4. Wait, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe, you know what? I think out of all my renovations, usually I try to keep them quite similar to the building that is already there, but this one I actually changed up a lot. I didn't simply like make it like a realistic renovation. I like completely like changed it, but it's still the same house, if that makes sense. I decided to go for a much more modern kind of feel to this house. I feel like all the houses in this sort of area, wait, is it Sunset Valley? Honestly, I'm not sure what this, I don't think it is. I don't know, whichever like map this is, all the houses are very much like traditional houses, which I love, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like doing something a bit different and yeah, that's what I did. So this is very different to my other renovations, but I love it. In saying that, I'm not sure if I'll do this sort of thing like all the time. Let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer more like realistic, like just add a different color paint or whatever to the house, you know, do things that could easily be done? Or do you prefer ones that are like seriously different like this one? I don't really mind. It's really, it doesn't bother me. I just kind of do whatever, but I felt like this one could use like a really cool different look. So yeah, I'm just doing the outside, changing up the windows, just giving, I guess, some different exterior wallpapers. I like the difference between using the, I guess, like wood panels along the top and using kind of like that weird brick kind of plaster stuff on the bottom. Honestly, I have no idea what that's called, but I'm gonna try my best. So yeah, I did keep the house looking pretty similar. Like I didn't change up any of the exits or anything. Exits? Maybe entrances. They all look pretty much the same. Like I did change them up a little bit, but I didn't like move their position, if that makes sense. I wanted to keep it still looking like recognizable, if that makes sense, so you could easily be like, oh yeah, I know that house. But at the same time still looking quite different. So yeah, this one was actually really, really fun. I love how this turned out. I feel like it's very different. I don't think I've done a house like this on my channel. I'm trying to think, but I honestly don't think I have. Let me know if I have done something similar. But I feel like this house has a very like earthy feel to it, if that makes sense. And not like my contemporary apartment. You know, that one has a lot of greens and like a very nature feel to it. A nature feel? What? um, but no, this is different. This is I mean it still has that kind of earthy feel to it, but it's, I don't know, it's very different. But I love it. Like I'm actually obsessed with it. I would probably live here maybe. But yeah, and so I thought I would add just a small little pool. I mean that would definitely raise the price of the house, but you know, honestly I don't think about how much houses are costing or going to cost when I'm building. I just like to go with it because I feel like otherwise it really restricts me, if that makes sense. Like I notice when I'm building a house or, you know, whatever, redoing a house and I have like my sim already in there and they have their certain amount of money, I feel like I just kind of freak out a bit and I'm like, oh no, I can't spend the money. And I'm like putting all the crappiest furniture in there, and I don't know, it's so weird. Let me know if it happens to any of you, but it happens to me all the time. So I don't like think about how much money I'm spending or whatever. Like honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. If the house is too expensive for my Sims, most of the time I will just like cheat it, if that makes sense. I'll use like free real estate and then just buy it for them because, you know, whatever. But yeah, this is the inside of the house. There are 2 stories. The top story is quite small, but I kind of like it. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't really change up the layout too much. I do kind of like knock a wall out, sort of. Oh, I guess 2 then, because that was a wall. I just wanted it to feel really open, so I wanted to get rid of that wall next to the staircase because I thought it would be kind of cool to have that all open. So yeah, and I decided to put in some different stairs just because, I don't know, those weren't really fitting the theme I was going for. So yes, and then just changing the floors. I ended up going with a kind of like a concrete floor. I thought that would be really cool. I don't know if I've done a build with concrete floor. Oh no, I have. Wait, have I? I think I have, right? Maybe not. I know I've definitely done builds on my own before that have had concrete floors, but here I just changed up the wall a bit in the kitchen. I wanted to make it a half wall so you could really like look into the kitchen, but at the same time it is still separated because I kind of like that idea. And I guess when I was putting in this dining table and chairs, I it kind of sparked my interest or my inspiration of I don't even know where I'm going with this. Hold on, let me restart. Okay, so those chairs inspired me, I guess, to... This is still not coming out the way I wanted to. Okay, so pretty much those chairs ended up being the reason for this whole color theme, if that makes sense. So usually when I'm building, I'll just kind of experiment and figure out like what I'm feeling, and then those chairs just happen to be like, yes, I want that. And then from there on, I kind of figured out the whole flow of the house, like what kind of furniture I wanted and all that. And so thanks to those chairs, we kind of go for, you know, a slight orange theme, but at the same time not really. It's hard to explain, but yes, those chairs were my inspiration. Ugh, oh my god, that was such a hard thing to say. I don't know why. It just was not coming out of my mouth properly, and I still did a really terrible job. So anyway. So here I didn't know what to put on the walls. I've been complaining about this for a little while, I think, but you know, I only have the base game at the moment, and I find that, you know, you just run out of things to put on the walls, and so you have to get creative. And so I decided to just, oh my god, I decided to just put some shelves on the wall, and I think it turned out really well. I really like it. So yeah, I've just been doing some different things that I normally would, but I think it's pretty cool. And I know some of you might be like, oh, why don't you just get custom content? And trust me, I'm like getting to the point where I'm like starting to consider it. But at the same time, I kind of enjoy the fact that I can just put these houses up on the gallery and anyone can download them, if they want to, obviously. um, but you know, once you start including custom content, it gets a little bit more difficult, and like, I don't know, it's not that I don't want to, because if you watch my Sims 3 videos, I use custom content all the time. I love it, but I just feel like, I don't know. I probably will get some parts of like custom content eventually, but for now I'm still just sticking with this. I think I would rather get some packs instead so that I have, you know, proper Sims content, so that people, you know, can still easily download these things as long as you have packs. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like against custom content by any means, but I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I'll get too obsessed with it and then I won't use anything from the base game anymore. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty much happened with The Sims 3, but what can you do? So here I'm just doing like a cute little hallway. I kind of like made this like the entrance that the family would probably most likely use. You know, not that there's anything wrong with the other entrance, but I feel like this is more of like, I don't know, the entrance that they would come in and, you know, take off their shoes and stuff like that. I don't know. But anyway, so now we're doing the bathroom, the little tiny bathroom downstairs, and I wanted to do something a little bit different than just concrete walls and concrete floors and whatever. And so I decided to put this like wood paneling, I guess, all around the walls, which I do quite like. I can't decide if it's a bit much or not. I mean, I don't know. I do like it. I think it turns out well in the end. At the moment, when like when I was building it at this moment, I was like really unsure about it, and I was almost at the point where I was gonna be like, ugh, let's just like get rid of all this and like restart the bathroom. But I ended up just putting in some plants and stuff, and I think that really like helps. But yeah. And so now I'm working on the bedroom. Now, this house does have 2 bedrooms, but I feel like this would be the master bedroom, even though the one upstairs kind of makes more sense for that to be the bathroom. Um, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. I think this is the master. It's a bit nicer, I think. I don't know. The way I think about it is probably the top floor is kind of like a guest, um, like a guest area. So if you had someone to stay, they would just stay upstairs, if that makes sense. Um, but you know, this bedroom doesn't really have an ensuite or anything. The one upstairs doesn't really either. Like there is a bathroom right next to it, but it's not really connected to the bedroom. Not that that really matters, honestly. It's kind of like the same deal down here. But I think the bathroom upstairs is a little bit bigger. But yeah, so just putting in some more of those really neutral tones. I actually really like that bed. I don't know why, but I've never even like looked at that swatch. I guess I just never really saw it to be as beautiful as it is. No, but I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. I like the color, and I thought it worked really well in here. I like the fact that you know, the walls are really bright and white, but the furniture is all a bit more like, I was about to say gloomy, that's not a good word to use, but you know, it's just a bit darker, and I don't know, it works in my opinion. You know, one thing I've noticed since watching like a bunch of people do builds and stuff on, you know, Sims obviously, is that people all have their own opinions of what looks good and stuff, and you know, that's great, you know. And so it's very interesting to see like people's styles and what they would personally do and what they wouldn't do. In saying that, a lot of the time when I build, I don't necessarily do what I would necessarily do. Wait, oh my god, what? Ugh, I said necessarily way too many times then. No, but I mean, I just do things because I feel like that's what the Sims who I have imagined in my head would do that live here. I don't know. Um, and it's not always because I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to do it that way. If that makes sense. I often just do it. I don't know how to explain this. I'm the worst at this sort of stuff. But I think you guys get what I mean, right? And so I try to make my builds as different as possible. I mean, obviously there are some that look a bit similar. Like, I guess you could say in some ways this does have a similar sort of style-ish to the coastal apartment I did. I mean, there are a few things that could definitely be similar, but obviously the color changes. Yeah, the color is different, and the theme. But I mean, you know, you could say that they're similar, and so I do try to make them as different as possible, but obviously some things will be similar, if that makes sense. But anyway, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!